Okay, my beautiful friends, here we go. Let's get this show on the freaking road. It is Thursday, June 23rd, 2022. People, let's start off with economic news. Just came out. Well, we found out that initial jobless claims dropped by 2,000. Okay, I don't think that's any kind of a big deal whatsoever. However, continuing claims rose 5,000. So, you weigh one against the other. You tell me where this is going. I think it's pretty evident here. What else did we find out? The personal savings rate, it's gone. People are unable, the average guy and the average girl is unable to save anything, and they continue to borrow and then borrow some more. But our economy is really, really strong. You know that's true. How do you know that's true? Because yesterday, Fed Chairman Jay Powell, the thing that he is over there, Yellowstone, well, he said the economy is very, very strong. We also found out that real wages, wages based against inflation, tumbling, also falling off of a cliff. People are getting crushed. And I am here to let you in on a little secret. Let's keep this between you and me, okay? You haven't seen anything that's going to get a lot worse here, people. Now, I want to let you in on another secret before we move on to the market. And I want you to do your own research on this. I want you to check this for yourself. Just go to the Federal Reserve's website. Now, there's been a lot of talk here that the Federal Reserve is, tapering. They're going to stop asset purchase or at least slow them down. Well, in less than 1 month, these are the dates I want you to look up here. From May 25th until June 15th, less than 1 month, the Federal Reserve's public balance sheet, the one you're allowed to look at, has risen $20 billion. So how's that taper working out? You think it's really happening? How about no? The truth is always hidden in plain sight, and it's in your face here. And again, no one's going to be held to account for the lies. And these lies are going to get much more dramatic. So again, check the Fed's website yourself. Look at the balance sheet between these dates, May 25th, June 15th, a $20 billion increase. And that's just what you're allowed to know about. Let's talk about what's in your face, because they always try to convince you that what you are seeing with your own eyes is not real. The 10-year yield continues to drop precipitously, okay? Last time I looked, 3.09. We were recently at 3.5. Again, this is not the average guy and the average girl just running out saying, I got to buy that debt. I got to get in here. I got to own this debt. No, this is the action of central banks, more specifically the Federal Reserve, pointing at my hat, not over my shoulder, okay? European Central Bank is still maintaining their emergency policy here to stabilize the debt market, to stop a fragmentation. So is the Federal Reserve. They're in here buying debt, probably more so than they ever have, but you're not allowed to know that. We did hear from, again, Fed Chair Yellowstone Powell himself. He said specifically the Fed is going to use unconventional methods to make sure the debt market remains stable. And that means they're just resorting back to what they used to do, buying all the debt. The Fed is buying it all, people, just like I've told you since time immemorial. That's their goal, to create their product out of thin air. Their product is one thing, debt, and use that debt or credit, if you want to think of it that way. It's kind of a weird thing, debt, credit, same thing, to buy anything they want, and no one is being held to account here. And the Fed will continue to utilize this mechanism of buying debt, funneling cash around the world, financing this crisis, that crisis, and the other crisis. And we are moving into a global hunger crisis. There's no doubt about it. And it keeps getting more airplay on the mainstream channels here. All right. Now, with that said, last time I looked, stock futures were higher. Not by much, but higher nonetheless. Okay. You got the 10-year yield coming down substantially. Well, that's an interesting set of dynamics here. The dollar is also somewhat weaker. Well, does that mean the setup for the market is great? No, it doesn't. Crude oil right now is about flat, slightly under pressure. We got Bitcoin still around 21,000, just below. Okay. We got gold and silver right now under a little bit of pressure. So that's where we stand this morning. That's the setup for the market. And it's just more absolute, terrible news on the economic front, especially with regard to the savings rate. With real wages falling off of a cliff, people are suffering on a massive scale. But our economy is really, really strong. You know it is, because they're telling you. Whenever they say something like that, people, you got to understand you're being lied to. The biggest takeaway you should understand is what Powell said yesterday, that the Fed doesn't deal with issues, his words, in real time. They deal with it, I guess, in fake time. How does that even work? In other words, he's telling you they're in some kind of fantasy land. And again, they're just doing whatever they want to do. And that is the mechanism here, people, believe me on this, is to continue to inflate via any mechanism possible. And the Federal Reserve, again, look, what are they doing? They're going out of their way right now to make sure inflation keeps getting worse by keeping the federal funds rate way less than the benchmark inflation rate, using their own numbers. By doing that alone is massively inflationary. Why yesterday, when Powell was before the Senate Banking Committee, why didn't one person bring that up? You notice how that was missing from the conversation? Oh yeah, maybe they don't know any better. Or maybe they do, and they just don't want you to know the truth. I don't know. And then you got this backdoor QE that's going on right now. Clearly, the Fed is buying all the debt. Look at their balance sheet yourself. It continues to rise. It's all crap. It's all lies. It's all distractions, propaganda, and everything else. You know that. Let's just see what happens here, people. Clearly, we were witnessing a pivotal event, and that was that spiking in the 10-year yield. And then what happened? They get in here, the European Central Bank, the Federal Reserve, and they're buying it all. They're buying it all. So I want you to be aware of what's happening here. Okay, so with that said, that's the story this morning. I think it's, it's just part of the freak show. What else? I'm laughing. I hate to do that, but it's the truth. All right, with that said, this guy right here loves you a lot. I mean that. And I will see all of you at the end of the day. We will put this all together. And let me know what you think. Again, please comment. Let me know what you are seeing. Collectively, we are stronger. And I want us to come together. I sincerely, with all of my heart, believe, and I've been telling you this for years, love each other, care about each other, be charitable. In this environment, we've never seen anything like it. We need each other more than ever. Okay, so let's come together. Let's help each other out. Let's lift each other up. There's a lot of people that are hurting out here. And let's make a difference, because that's the only thing we can do. What are people going to remember you for? A person that at least tried to make a difference in the world or didn't. And to me, look, all of this stuff is all well and good. It really is. But if we can make a positive difference in the world by just doing the simplest of acts to benefit one person or all of mankind, we've left our mark on history. And it's not about recognition or anything like that. It's about making a difference in the world. And I really think that's important. I want you to focus on that today. That's your homework assignment. All right. Love you a lot. See you later.